In the headlines, court remands suspended Accountant General Idris in Kuje prison over 109 billion naira fraud allegation. President Buhari appeals to electorates to vote APC for continuity in next general elections. 30 dead, 12 injured in ghastly motor accident along Zaria to Kano Expressway. And on the foreign scene, U.S. reports first polio case in nearly a decade. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Friday arraigned a former Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, and 3 others before a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja over alleged 109 billion naira fraud. In the ruling, the court ordered that they be remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility till the hearing of his bail application on Wednesday, the 27th of July 2022. Trial Justice Adeyemi Ajayi remanded the former Accountant General after he was arraigned on a 14-count charge that bordered on conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, and money laundering.
Is interesting in this is that plea has been taken and the charges have been read. And interestingly, what are contained in the charges are quite different from what was dished out to the media, because in the media it has been all over the place that the man collected billions of naira from the treasury. But what we have seen shows that the contents of the book are quite different from the title of the book itself.
When you see the charge, you will see what was in the media before. It's the same amount, it's the same figure. And you see the confessional statement there. It's only in our country that somebody who make a confessional statement will still come before the world and tell the world that he's innocent. So it has to tell you about our value system. Get the confessional statement made by all of them. These some were admitted by them. So it's not a question of being played to the gallery or saying something different. It is a exact figure that you people reported that is in the charge.
President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the electorates to vote the All Progressives Congress in the next general elections to ensure continuity in the polity and stability in the country and West African region. The president said this Friday while receiving a delegation from Nasarawa State led by Governor Abdullahi Saleh at the State House, Abuja. He said the off-season elections in Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun states had confirmed his administration's irreversible commitment to credible and violence-free polls in the country. The president told the high-powered delegation that his signing the Electoral Act earlier this year is an attestation of the fulfillment of the administration's determination and commitment to the tenets of the rule of law. Governor Sule told the president that the delegation came to the villa to appreciate him for approving the takeover of the Lafia Airport, refunds for the completion of the Lafia-Kefi Road, ongoing construction of Abuja-Kefi-Akwanga Lafia-Makurdi dual carriage road, and appointment of prominent sons and daughters of the state into different positions in the federal government.
The new Electoral Act is an attestation of the fulfillment of our determination and commitment to the tenets of the rule of law. The off-season elections in Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun states confirm the administration's resoluteness on this matter. The forthcoming general elections will provide us with the opportunity to convince the electorate on the need for continuity to enable our party to consolidate on our achievements in the last 7 years. The government and people of Nasarawa State, as usual, have a great role to play in returning our party to governance in the 2023 elections in order to create a path for greater socio-economic growth and development.
We are here specifically to appreciate the benevolence of your administration and your personal indulgence for approving the takeover of the Lafia Airport. By this approval, Your Excellency, we can now see our airport being properly utilized, not only as the cargo airport that was originally meant for, but as a commercial and, more importantly, a security airport. Let me use this opportunity of this thank you visit, Mr. President, for finding our prominent and distinguished sons and daughters of worthy appointment into different positions in the federal government. To us in Nasarawa State, these appointments have continued to give us a sense of pride and belonging as they offer us the opportunity to show support and contribute our quota towards the realization of the policies and programs of your dynamic administration. We also appreciate, Mr. President, on the ongoing construction of the Abuja Kefi Akwanga Lafia Makodi dual carriage road, which has reached appreciable level of completion among numerous other projects that we have in the state.
Legal representation in the suit challenging delegate list in the just concluded APC primary for Nasarawa West senatorial election stalls hearing in the matter at the Federal High Court, Lafia. Abubakar Abdullahi reports that the case was filed by Labaran Magaji, who contested the election that produced Shehu Tukur as winner of the primary. The report is presented in our studio.
The case was filed by an APC aspirant, Labaran Magaji, alleging that the delegates list used during the primary elections that produced Shehu Tukur as the candidate of the party was doctored. Different counsels, however, claim to have been briefed by litigants involved in the suit. The judge, Justice Nehizina Afalabin, after listening to counsels on representations and other sundry issues, fixed 3rd August next year as the next adjourned date to enable parties resolve issues before hearing speaking shortly after the proceeding. Counsels for Labaran Magaji and APC Gali Umar and Abdullahi Bawa said the grey areas will be sorted out before the next hearing.
There are some defendants who were not served, and the case was adjourned for them to be served with processes, because sometimes the reason was that they did not appear in the matter earlier. So I think there is a mix-up. They were being served at the headquarters in Abuja. So when they came into the matter, already the processes were already in Abuja. So they have no access to some copies. So, and we look at their reason as being genuine, and the court obliged them to be served in the interest of justice.
Yeah, what transpired in court today was just a simple thing, mix up in service of process. There was an application by the second defendant for his processes to be deemed properly filed, but the motion was not served on some of the parties. The plaintiff was served, the plaintiff filed a counter affidavit. That counter affidavit was incidentally not served on all the other parties. So the matter has been adjourned to enable all parties to be served with all processes filed by the parties in this matter.
Also speaking, Labaran Magaji, the plaintiff, promised to continue to follow the case to its logical conclusion.
To this end, these adjournments is at the instance of the defendants, and we are really conscious of the practice direction issued by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court that this matter is going to be heard expeditiously, and we are waiting patiently. The ends justify the means.
It will be recalled that crisis rocked APC in Nasarawa State over alleged tampering with the original list of the delegates in some local government areas, generating accusations and counter-accusations among party members in the state. The current APC national chairman, Adamu, represented the senatorial zone before his resignation to take up his present position.
At least 30 persons are feared dead after a ghastly auto crash along Zaria-Kano Expressway on Thursday evening. Assistant Corps Commander in charge of Zaria Zone, Abdurrahman Yakase, who spoke to Daily Trust, confirmed the accident, adding that 12 persons sustained serious injuries. He said the accident was caused by overspeeding and dangerous overtaking, where two Toyota 18-seater buses and a Volkswagen Golf collided. The unit commander said the FRSC were yet to ascertain the registration numbers of the vehicles because the vehicles were burnt to ashes. He, however, assured that efforts are being made to obtain the manifest and additional details of the victims. On crime, bandits have killed 5 mobile policemen who were said to be on special duty from Kano and 3 civilians at Gatakawa community in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. Sources say the incident occurred on Wednesday when over 300 gunmen stormed the community and started shooting to scare residents. One of the sources said the gunmen rode on motorcycles and went from house to house, carting away anything of value, including money and food items. He said the several residents were also injured, especially those trying to escape from the gunmen, and some had since relocated to neighboring communities for fear of another attack. This is the second time this month that police officers have been killed by bandits. It could be recalled that gunmen killed a senior police officer in charge of the Dutz and Ma Council area, Assistant Commissioner of Police Aminu Umar, alongside one other police officer and several civilians. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Katsina State Command, CP Idrisu Dabbang Dauda, has presented checks of 14.6 million naira to families and next of kin of deceased police officers who died while in active service on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Al-Ali Baba. The Director of Personnel Management and a veterinary doctor with the Department of Veterinary Medicine in Kontagora local government area of Niger State have been reportedly kidnapped. Daily Trust gathered that the DPM was kidnapped on Friday on his farm along Kontagora-Mariga Road alongside some laborers working with him, while the veterinary doctor was reportedly abducted on Thursday morning while returning to Kontagora from surrounding villages where he had gone to vaccinate animals. Daily Trust gathered that the bandits later called and demanded for 15 million naira ransom. The Niger State Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Wasiu Abiodun, is yet to confirm the incident. Moving on, police have arrested a 35-year-old man, Abubakar Hamidu, who allegedly raped a 12-year-old girl, Amina Ibrahim, in Gombe metropolis. Speaking to newsmen, the Gombe State Commissioner of Police, Ishola Babaita, said the suspect and the victim were taken to police clinic in Gombe for medical examinations. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The 35-year-old Abubakar Hamidu confessed to have lured the 12-year-old girl, Amina Ibrahim, to his room with 500 naira and committed the said crime. But according to the police report, the 35-year-old suspect raped the victim twice in a month. I raped a girl. I offered her 500 naira and took her to a room. She screamed after I raped her.
Bayan kai ne ta ihu ko kuma me ya faru?
Bayan nayi ne. 3 weeks later, the police went to my room and arrested me. It was a devil's act.
Bayan da sati uku ina kwance sai ga 'yan sanda sun zo ɗaki na sun ɗauke ni.
The police command also paraded other 4 suspects over alleged motorcycle theft in Gombe State and one, Awali Yakubu from Bauchi, in possession of military uniforms. The shoes and the uniforms are not up to 5,000 naira each. I buy from soldiers and sell at checkpoints. I buy some at 3,000 and sell 4,500 and 4,000 then sell 5,000 naira.
5,000.
We break into the house while the owner was sleeping. We took the bike and went away. This is the first and the last theft. People should pray for us. The Commissioner of Police, Gombe State Command, Ishola Babaita, said the suspects will be charged to court.
I want to assure the citizens of the Gombe State that the police command is committed, that our command is committed to their security, and criminal cases will be transparently be investigated and suspects be charged to court to uphold the cause of justice. In addition, the command once again call on politicians not to engage youth in acts of political thuggery and substance abuse for their selfish interests, while the parents and the world are advised to ensure that their children are not involved in this act of lawlessness or criminal activities.
The police commissioner urged Gombe residents to assist the force with useful information that will complement its effort in ensuring adequate protection of lives and property. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. How lack of parking space obstructs free flow of traffic. Do stay with us.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update. Here's a recap of some of our major stories. We told you that court remands suspended Accountant General Idris in Kuje prison over 109 billion naira fraud allegation. You also heard that President Buhari appeals to electorates to vote APC for continuity in the next general elections. Moving on, a total of 3,657 civil servants have so far been reported to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Related Offences Commission for prosecution for failing to get verified on the Integrated Personnel Payroll Information System. The head of Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi-Esan, disclosed this while briefing media organized by the Presidential Communication Team in Abuja. She said 61,446 civil servants from various ministries, departments and agencies have been verified on the IPPIS platform, adding that another 1,618 applicants were found to have used illegal or fake letters, while 874 officers suspended from the platform. She said the government saved about 180 million naira monthly and about 2 billion naira annually by implementing IPPIS. Tanker drivers along Gwagwalada Highway are obstructing free flow of traffic by parking their trucks by the roadside. The drivers say lack of parking space for their heavy-duty vehicles to offload goods gives them no alternative but to park by the roadside. Gaza Yakubu, who visited the axis, tells us more.
Heavy-duty vehicles are the common sight in Gwagwalada Highway. This road is a major access in and out of the FCT, yet the free movement of vehicles, especially in the evening hours, is a challenge attributed to the tanker drivers.
And some of them, you know, they are so, the kind of things they carry, the diesel and all those things, if anything happens here, it's going to be a disaster, considering a lot of people that are in this park and all that. So I think they need a park rather than parking on the sideways like this. Even this morning, it happened. One of them almost ran into one other car that was in the front. It had to be the attention of some of the, I can call them maybe the chairman around here. They came and they had to sort it out before the truck left.
The lack of parking space poses a serious challenge ahead, as the tanker drivers are using the highway as drop-off terminal, thereby causing unnecessary traffic gridlock. We're here because of our customers. Some connect with us from Lagos, while others in Asaba and different parts of the country. When my company sells the goods belonging to Abuja customer, we wait here. But if it is sold to other states, we transport it to them. Here is our casual depot.
There
are parking spaces, but there is none in Abuja. There are parking spaces in Tafa, Kaduna. You cannot park by the roadside because of the danger. Spending 500 naira to 700 naira to park safely is better. Also hindering traffic flow are the business activities that are gradually coming up due to parking by the roadside. Until a parking alternative is provided, the drivers will continue to make do with the space they can access at the detriment of those plying the highway. Gaza Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Similarly, poor condition of parking space has been identified as the major reason contributing to roadside parking by drivers of articulated vehicles at Ngurore, one of the biggest weekly cattle markets in Adamawa State. In an interview with Trust TV, leadership of the Heavy Duty Truck Drivers Association of Ngurore Market say when the parking space gets necessary construction, their contribution to the economic growth of Nigeria will be higher than what is currently obtained. Silas Lowell has the report.
This have been the challenging experience for the heavy trucks drivers of Ngurore Market. According to the leadership of the Heavy Trucks Drivers Association, bad conditions of the parking space sometimes lead to the loss of goods worth millions of naira. Mohammed is the chairman, Heavy Trucks Drivers Association Ngurore, and he explained some of the challenges contributing to the parking by the roadside, to include security of the goods.
Government at all levels are trying, but we want them to do more. Gombeyola Road is a busy road. Commuters can see cars and trucks being disorderly parked on different lanes, which is leading to accidents almost daily. The main cause of these accidents is we have space for trailer park that can contain more than 500 trucks, but there are no structures that can accommodate the trucks, and we can't access the place.
Despite their contribution to the economic development of the country, however, the heavy trucks drivers face different challenges in the course of transporting goods from one region to the other. While identifying some of the challenges, they solicit for government intervention, which stakeholders believed will help reduce high cost of living.
We are taking grains, cows and goats, dry fish, onions. We are all carrying from here, we move over there with. This matter, there is no gain inside. We are just doing because of business. We don't have anything to do. If you put your motor, the diesel, from here to all those places, once if you went there, there is no gain inside. There is no gain inside.
Most at times, security personnel or agents block roads and demand us to pay token for them to clear the way. And if you seek for leniency, you will be harassed. In fact, there are those that will order you to make money transfer if you complain of not having enough cash. For instance, if you load goods or livestock from Mubi town to Calabar, you may pay at least 600,000 naira to security agents and area boys, even if you are transporting legitimate goods and have way bill.
Stakeholders said Ngurore heavy trucks parking space, if constructed, will have the capacity of accommodating over 700 articulated vehicles.
These are some of the challenges the drivers and the leadership of the union complain about. They are looking for an urgent intervention from government to avoid parking on the main road, which causes accidents and many challenges to the road users. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
On the foreign scene, the United States has reported its first case of polio in nearly a decade after health officials in the state of New York said a patient had tested positive for the disease. The state's health department say on Thursday that the case was detected in a resident of Rockland County, about 48 kilometers north of Manhattan. Testing suggested the case of the highly contagious virus may have originated outside of the U.S., the department say in the statement. The person is no longer deemed contagious, but investigators are trying to figure out how the infection occurred and whether others were exposed. Officials also told healthcare providers to be on the lookout for more cases and urged people in the area who are not vaccinated to get the shot. Draupadi Murmu, a woman from India's tribal minority, has been elected as the country's president by legislators. The 64-year-old politician, who is from the Santhal tribe, secured a largely ceremonial position with the support of more than half of the electorate of MPs and state legislators, partial results released by the Election Commission showed. More than 4,500 state and federal lawmakers voted on the presidential election on Monday, and ballots were counted on Thursday. Murmu's victory was assured as she was backed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ruling Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party, which dominates federal and state politics. Murmu will be the country's second woman president after Pratibha Patil, who held the position for 5 years from 2007 and succeeds Ram Nath Kovind, the second president from the Dalit community, the bottom of the Hindu caste system. Still away from Nigeria, Dinesh Gunawardena has been sworn in as Sri Lanka's new prime minister just hours after soldiers and police cleared an anti-government protest site in Colombo. Gunawardena, a veteran member of the ruling Sri Lanka Party People's Front and an ally of the Rajapaksa political family, took the oath of office on Friday before the president Ranil Wickremesinghe, who was elevated to head of state from his role as prime minister by a vote in parliament on Wednesday. With this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.